In the previous videos of Step 5, we went through bill and hold provisions, consignment provisions, and customer acceptance clauses. We now want to look at the fourth question here, which is, does the contract include repurchase provisions? If an agreement has repurchase provisions, then there are some different answers or different conclusions that can send you to in terms of when and how to go about recognizing revenue. So let's say, for purpose of the example, yes, this agreement does include repurchase provisions. What you'll be asked to do is identify which performance obligation the repurchase provision would relate to. And once you've done that, you're then going to be asked, is the repurchase provision a forward, an option, or a put? If you select forward or option, then depending upon what the situation is, let's select one as an example, select forward. Depending upon if the repurchase price is less than or greater than the original selling price, will lead you to a path of determining that the revenue should either be, or the contract should either be accounted for as a lease or a financing arrangement. So if it is less than, then it would be accounted for as a lease, and if it is greater than, then it would be accounted for as a financing arrangement. So if you select one way or another, I'll just highlight, if you toggle down to where the report is, we'll go all the way down to Step 5, and you'll see that your answers have already been recorded here and the conclusion is already being indicated. So in this case here, it's because it was less than, it would be accounted for as a lease. But let's go back up now and continue the analysis when we're looking at repurchase provisions. So we said earlier that it was a forward or an option, which are relatively simple compared to a put. So let's go and change that now, and let's say that we do have a repurchase provision, but the repurchase provision is actually a put. So you're going to be asked different scenarios here. Is the repurchase price equal to or greater than the original selling price? Yeah, you can either answer yes or no, depending upon what the situation is. If you answer yes, the next question is going to be, is the repurchase price greater than the expected market value of the asset? If you answer no, you say, does a customer have a significant incentive to exercise the right? The responses that you provide to these questions will indicate one of three things. It's either going to be accounted for as a sale with the right of return, with an adequate return allowance provided, or it could be accounted for as a financing arrangement, or similar to what we saw with the forward or option, it could be accounted for as a lease. So based upon your answers here, I'll highlight once again that if you toggle down to the report section, you'll see, if we go down to Step 5 at the very bottom, you'll see, in this case here, the answers that we provide indicate that this performance obligation, it's probably not realistic to call a software license, but that's just what the example was. But in this case here, since you can require the reporting entity to repurchase the asset transferred, but the customer does not have a significant economic incentive to exercise the option, as a result, it will be counted for as a sale with the right of return. Now this language that we're looking at in the report here will vary depending upon what the responses provided were.